Okay. Now that everybody has their food,
She had
and the hunger panic has subsided, we're gonna start in on the toast. So this is where So here's where we start with the unsolicited advice on marriage for Chris and Charlie. Russell and I are gonna kick it off. Charlie and I go way back. We were wee lads starting college. We were roommates through college, and got to spend and share those tumultuous, wonderful years, formative years of college, where we were exploring intellectually and traveling and going through all of the relationships and tumult of the college years together. And the great thing about Charlie that I learned over those years is that he values relationships and he values truth to such a strong extent that as a friend of Charlie's, you can't get away with apathy on either front. And it's something that I've grown to just love and adore about Charlie. And I'll tell you, we butted heads hard for the first couple of years that we were roommates. I mean, you couldn't have paired two more similar and more opposite people. And it was a beautiful thing. It was a perfect thing. We both agree that it's exactly what each of us needed at that point in our lives. But every single lecture or class or quote or sermon that we heard, we would debate endlessly, incessantly, and it was just excellent. Those were moments, and that was growth that shaped my life from that point on in an immense way. And really, the friendship grew and blossomed into really a brotherhood, a deep brotherhood. And despite our distance over the years, Charlie and I have shared in the best moments and the worst moments that I think each of us has experienced, and he has been a best friend to me in every step of the way. And so when I was in LA, I guess a day after or 2 days after Chris and Charlie first met each other, that was a gift. I'm in LA, every 2 months, 3 months. So to be there the day after, or a couple days after they met, was a gift, especially as a good friend and as a brother. And I gotta tell you, it was one of those dinners where I wish I could record it and relive it and share it with other people, because I got to see his excitement in raw form. I got to see him glow. I got to see him tell me about Chris, and I recognized it. It was, as Ed Bacon said earlier, it was just a deep connection right from the start, and that was very, very evident in the retelling of that first encounter, those first conversations. And amongst other things, I think that in Chris, Charlie found a person that who approaches the world in a way that he respects. He approaches the world in a way that Charlie respects. He is obviously incredibly intelligent and almost obnoxiously humble. He's an extremely competent guy and just kind, and intentionally kind, and I think naturally kind and genuinely kind. And he's also, like Charlie, brave. And the choice that both of them have made to step out in love and live their lives and be themselves and embrace one another and choose to commit to one another in this way, regardless of the circumstances. You're stepping out for an adventure when you choose to commit in a marriage or a lifelong relationship like that. And so, my friends, I hope that you enjoy that journey and in that adventure, and I hope that you embrace the seasons of love as they change and morph over the years. I grow and are transformed by one another, with one another over those years. And more than anything, I hope that the warm embrace that you give the world is all the grander and all the warmer because of the love that you share.
Cheers. Cheers.
Drink a little bit more. So my name's Russell, friends with Chris, and I should state now that if I stammer a little bit or do a little bit of navel gazing, it's only because I'm terrified to be up here.
Great. You can do it, Russell.
You may recognize me from the prayer I read, the church/synagogue.
Yes.
And yes, I was excellent in that moment. It was a real joy for all of us. But it's a lot easier to read somebody else's words, at least for me, than to speak my own heart. That's, especially when those other words are in ancient biblical language. Who knows, I could have been telling you a falafel recipe. A very holy and ancient falafel. But Chris, I've known Chris for I was thinking about probably about 14 years. Since early on in college, I was unhappily in Silliman College, the worst college in Yale. And Adam and Chris and our friend Gene, they were all in Saybrook, the cool Saybrook crew, and they very kindly took me in, and I really always appreciated that. Always envied their friendship, and and then junior year, Chris and I got to be a little bit closer when he pledged Yale's all-Jewish fraternity.
Yeah.
Excuse me, all-Jewish / one Taiwanese fraternity. It wasn't until actually a little bit after college we became really better friends. I moved out to LA in 2007, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to stay. I lived with a couple of fine people. Matt Perlmutter, Lacey Friedman, I don't talk to them anymore, I wish them well. But it wasn't until I moved in with Jeremy and Adam and Chris, about a year after I got to LA, that I really felt, for the first time in my adult life, that I found a home. It was really a pleasure to spend all that time with these guys, and rather than hiding in my bedroom as I had been doing the prior year, I actually enjoyed being around these guys, drinking a lot of tea, and watching a lot of TV, eating a lot of food. Chris ate every single meal out of the same bowl. Did I make that up? He cleaned it. But it was a good environment, and Chris was a huge part of that. Chris is a very kind and generous person, and I think I was trying to figure out the word that most of encapsulated my feelings towards Chris, and I think it is that he is a decent man. And I don't use that word lightly. I am, for those who know me, I'm slightly cynical about the world. I often go in hiding. But Chris doesn't. No matter what happens? He steps out into every day with love and strength, and he embraces it no matter what happens. And I was thinking that I cannot think of a single instance in which he has ever been anything but kind and generous towards me, no matter how bad his day was going. And I dare any of you to come up with a single moment where Chris was not generous with you. And that is hard. You know, it's really easy to be nice when you're feeling good, or when things are going well, you know, or people being nice to you. But when somebody's being mean to you, or disrespectful, you can give them the finger and run away. I think that's a perfectly reasonable way to live. But you can also be decent. You can be Chris. And you can embrace the world and believe that there's something better. And put that into the world and just hope that it'll come back to you. And so, when Chris met Charlie, and he found another decent man, a man who spends every day of his life helping other people, no matter how horribly he feels, or tired, or hungover, whatever it is. Not that he It made me a little bit less cynical about the world, and it gave me a little bit more hope that maybe I can find something like that. So, I just want to raise my glass to Chris and Charlie, two very good men who found happiness.
Yeah.